The professional bull riders are back in town for another exciting event, and this time they're at the UC.
Yes, Jake is there this morning to check it out for us. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. We are out here behind the scenes at the United Center where, you know, normally there's a different kind of Chicago Bulls that people come out to see, but this weekend is something special. Come on out and take a look at this. PBR Unleash the Beast. It is tonight and Saturday night, and we had the chance to go behind the scenes and talk with all the folks that make it possible. It's today, it's tomorrow. It is the toughest sport on dirt, and one of the reasons why is this man right here, Colton. Hello, Colton. Good to see you, man. Professional bull rider. Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. First of all, how you feeling? You're going to be taking on a bull tonight?
Yes, sir. I feel pretty good. Tonight's the first night, and we're pretty excited about it.
Our next guest, I would argue, the most important person that's going to be at the United Center this weekend. This is Jared Groney. Jared, you are the safety man. Explain to people what that means exactly.
So I'm the second line of defense behind the bullfighters. The bullfighters are the main line of safety to protect the bull riders. But if somebody gets knocked out or goes down, we can get in there and kind of help control the situation.
So take me to that situation. What has to happen? Because, I mean, your eyes are on these guys. You know, we were saying in the last hour, 8 seconds. But 8 seconds is a long time when you're on the back of that bull. What has to happen for you to say, all right, I need to get involved?
Don't miss would be the first thought that goes through my mind. But it all depends upon the situation. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of people in the arena. But we want the show and the production to go smoothly, so that's kind of, I judge it based upon that.
All right, guys, if you want to see a different kind of Chicago Bull out here at the United Center, all you got to do is come on out tonight or tomorrow. PBR, it is an event unlike anything you've ever seen. This one's called Unleash the Beast. Tickets start at just under $40. So much fun to be had. You don't want to miss it. On that note, we're going to toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Kind of jealous that he's out there today. My kind of carrying on. All right, we'll be right back.
Packers getting ready for a huge game tomorrow night on the lakefront. Defensive back Jalen Johnson still working his way back after missing 10 games with injury.
Our Cassie Carlson got to catch up with him this week at Hallis Hall to talk a little bit more about it.
This game coming up Saturday night, I mean, I would say this is the biggest game I've ever covered in Bears history. Does this feel like the biggest game you've played in?
Honestly, it's hard to think about it like that. I mean, probably so. I mean, it's our next game, and it's an important game for us, considering where we're at in the season. NFC North on the line, NFC seeding is on the line. We're trying to get our playoff spot. So I mean, it's a lot on the line. But I think really for us, it's just the next game that we need to get to where we need to get to.
Yeah, Ben said no extra message needed this week. Everyone knows what's at stake, but this team week after week seems like it's at a next level of locked in and just focus and understanding that the preparation each week, is that a credit to Ben? Is it just everyone knowing the reality of what the season could be?
Yeah, I think it's really just helping us mature, I would say, as a team. And I mean, we're a young team as well, so a lot of guys haven't been in a position like this at this level. So really just grooming us and directing us in the right path. And I think we got the right guys in the locker room that are buying in and doing the extra work that needs to be done so we can have the best opportunity to win.
Dennis Allen compared the defensive availability each week as like a recipe with ingredients of what he's cooking up, and that's fitting for this week for you. But how have you noticed the way he's become the head coach of this defense and been able to really make you guys play at an elite level despite the injuries?
Yeah, I mean, it's natural for him. I mean, I think of all my DCs that I've had, I feel like he's probably the most mature in a way of conducting the crowd and really just talking to us, motivating us. And it's really been beneficial. I think he really has the guys believing in what we're doing. That's a very essential thing when you're considering a top tier defense. So I think for us, it's really just continue to buy into what he's saying and really taking heed to it and trusting what he's saying, what the coaches are telling us.
He said the interception felt like helped your confidence. I don't know that you need more confidence, but is there some truth to that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you always want to make plays like that, but I think for me, it's just continuing to bring that confidence back in myself. Being out for a long time, you kind of don't have too many opportunities to prove who you are. So I think for me, that was just a step in the right direction, but I continue to put in the work. When nobody's watching, that gives me my ultimate confidence.
When you watch back that tape from the first game against Green Bay and all the explosive that everyone's kind of talking about, what left the worst taste in your mouth about that game that you feel like this is a get-right game in that sense?
I would probably say the third down, where I know I was one of the four that missed the tackle. I think for us, it's just finishing. I mean, at times when you're aggressive, you're going to get caught with explosive plays. So I think it really wasn't too much that we could have changed on that. I think a lot of them were good on them and good play calls for what we were running. But I mean, really just for us to have an opportunity to close out the game, that's something that we need to do and I need to do. So it's definitely something for us where even with all the explosive, we still had a chance to win. So I think for us, it's just finishing.
Is it true that Al Harris has a wall of a photo of all the interceptions with the balls?
Every turnover.
Okay, I saw a photo on Twitter, and I was like, is this real or not? So it's real.
Every time you get an interception, or a turnover, rather, you sign the ball, and then you get a picture in the room.
All right, so you got your photo up on the wall.
Not yet. I don't know where it's at, though, but hopefully
it's not a quick turnaround.
No, not at all.
Finally, Grady Jarrett said he heard the chants of Bears fans about the Packers against the Browns. Like, what is the atmosphere that you're expecting Saturday night?
Hopefully the best one I've been a part of in my career. So I think for us, it's nothing better than, again, a primetime game against a rivalry team that is a really must-win for us at this point in the season. So, I mean, hopefully this is the best one that we won't forget.
Gear up for the holidays.
everybody. Would you consider this the Lord shining down on us, saying we're getting ready for a Bears win?
You're looking for divine inspiration
I think
now.
so.
Okay.
I mean, we've got the Pope from this area now, new bishops coming from the, you know, I mean, something's going on. So we hope we're coming back on a Victory Monday.
See you there.
Oh, there's the jingle. I just realized my earpiece is a little different than it was downstairs, so I caught the tail end of our jingle. But hey,
I need to turn up my volume, too.
happy Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
We made
Yeah,
it.
it is.
We made it.
How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah? What's
What about
new?
you?
What's happening?
Are you leading me
Yeah.
right now? Are you leading the witness?
And maybe you guys could do a close-up on him so I can turn up the volume.
Wow, it really does look significant.
It looks good.
Good.
Looks good. I'm going to step off for
really
a second.
does
Anthony, go down the path of your story. I'm gonna
Why are you leaving me alone on
I
set?
got to fix.
Okay, you notice I have these little markings. I got a couple texts from viewers today wondering, did I throw blush on today? Did I do my makeup in a different way? No, these are laser beams. Okay, I saw one of those skincare specialists. We've talked about it here on Chicago Now from time to time. So yesterday was the day, and we'll see what the final result is. And I'm told that it's going to be hot and red for about 24 hours, and then tomorrow it's going to be a flaking situation, and then things will start to improve. So I know everyone's waiting on bated breath there. But yeah, we'll do a follow-up and see if it works how it's supposed to do. Now we've got a fun hour coming up here on Chicago Now. There's Caitlin Cody.
My IP got unplugged, and it's like...
Oh, it did?
It's way back here. I just had to get a little assistance.
Situated?
I couldn't hear anything. Okay, so you told the story about your face?
It's all over. Yeah,
It's over, I missed
the
it.
end. Yeah, basically, I was telling our viewers that
Yes, yeah, uh-huh.
it's going to be really flaky this weekend,
Yeah.
I'm told.
And you're
then
gonna throw
it'll...
in some lotion, eat some pizza.
Well, I've been giving... I've been given these special samples.
Yeah.
Like real potent, I'm guessing it's a very potent moisturizer to...
Good, good, good.
Keep that hydrated.
I'm going to do it too, you guys. I want to get it done. You know, we were talking about before the show started, different, anti-aging things. You see it all over social media, what you're supposed to do, but the lasers seem relatively non-invasive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do, it's just you got to save for it. Or to your point, get it as like a present or something.
Yes, it was given to me as a present.
Yeah, that's great.
Maggie,
That's great.
Maggie, birthday present from Maggie.
Perfect.
I turned 47 November 7th, and this was her big gift.
You don't look a day past 32.
Thank you.
And you
Well,
feel
this is the whole
what is your
idea.
forever age, 25?
Yeah, I would say
25?
so. What's yours?
32.
32.
That's probably why my brain went there. Yeah, I think I'm forever 32.
That's pretty good. I think because you are 7 years more mature than me. That's for sure.
Oh.
I'm 25. Sometimes I'm like, am I 19?
Oh, really?
Yeah, sometimes.
You feel mentally 19?
Yeah, I'm 25. I think
No, but
is
that's
pretty.
good though. Gosh.
Not really.
I don't even remember what it was like to be that age.
There are times, though, Caitlin, do you ever have moments where you're with your kids and you're like,
in charge?
yes.
100%. Especially
Does
with
that
Bertie.
go away?
I don't know. Like my daughter, she's 6.5, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, we're friends. Like, you didn't come out of my body. Like, that doesn't even compute. What do you
Anymore.
mean?
I actually, that's a question I should ask my parents. Does that feeling go away?
Like, I can't be in charge of you.
It's a form of imposter syndrome.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
right? You're like, wait, I've got to feed you. I got to...
Yeah, I gotta feed you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, what's funny is like at the end of the day when you think, how did I do today as a parent? And then you remember like all the things you did, like you made their bed comfy and you gave them a bath and you fed them. And the scary part is that they rely on you for
That's frightening, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it's like I have moments where, okay, there have been a couple times where, something big like, we'll get past the goalie. For example, this was a couple weeks ago. I go outside of the car for some reason I was getting something out of the back seat, and I noticed our car seat was not buckled in. You know how you...
Attached. Yeah,
it was not attached.
Yeah.
And so there was at least one car ride where, unbeknownst to me,
The car seat was just.
It was just sitting. It was like, so he was strapped into the car seat. The car seat's not strapped into the car.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I get it. I know.
And it's like those things. You're like, ah. I mean, I know all parents probably go through it, but it's real.
Or like when you're trying to just protect him from getting hurt. Like my 1-year-old, I've said this before, and it's so true. Like I will be following him with my arms on both sides, bumpering him, right? Somehow he still will fall and hurt himself.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You can't, yeah.
You go to the bathroom, the kid escapes, and they're on top of a couch jumping, and then they hurt themselves. It's like, you just do the best you can. That's why, you know, back in the day, it takes a village. The village doesn't really exist anymore. Okay? The village is
It used to. I mean, I fortunately have a tiny village because my parents happened to live 15 minutes away, which is a luxury.
Yeah, that's
I know
really
so
nice.
many people whose your folks are a couple hours away,
4.5
right?
hours away.
And there are times where I'm like, I don't not even know what we would have done.
Oh,
But
yeah. No,
I know that everyone makes adjustments when.
our neighbors actually really step it up. Like that time my dog got out. Remember Charlie? He got out, and I got a call from the vet when I was at work.
I don't remember this incident.
You don't?
No.
I thought I shared. So it was like a couple weeks ago. I'm at work and I got a call and I was like, I don't recognize this number. They started leaving a voicemail and it said, I've got Charlie. And I was like, what? So I answered. They go, yeah, we're so-and-so at this vet clinic. We've got Charlie with us. Someone turned him in because he got loose.
Oh my gosh. So wait, they called you, he was microchipped and they were.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
So
also terrifying.
when they sorry, I'm like focusing on the positive, I guess.
No, it's good.
So
It's
they scanned, because I've been wondering exactly how those microchips work. So they're under the skin. They scanned it and it was able to pop up your contact info.
Yes. Which is, the scary part is, imagine if they didn't find that, okay? Because my dogs don't have, like, they should have tags on them. They don't have the physical tags on them.
Yeah. It's like in their skin, right?
Yeah, so the microchip is thank goodness they've got it because I got them, yeah.
I will
Anyways.
violate all kinds of civil rights laws to put one in under both of my son's elbow.
Oh, I want to do the same.
You know what I mean?
I want to do the same. Yeah, but anyways, to my point, the neighbor is our next door neighbor. She's wonderful, and every time something goes sideways, Natalie, can you help? Can you go get the dog? Because, you know, anyways, okay, so.
All's well that ends well, and by the way, my car seat is back buckled in nice and snug.
Thank goodness, you know.
But gosh,
those things are hard to wrestle
Oh
into
gosh,
place.
and I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Anyways.
We got a fun hour. We get to try out some cool science
kiddos,
experiments.
yeah.
Exactly. Winter break's coming up. For parents out there, this is kind of a stressful time because if you're not going on vacation, we're not going on vacation this year. We got 2 weeks. That's a lot of time inside. The weather's cold, and so we are going to be joined by our friends over at Griffin MSI to talk about some indoor, hopefully clean enough science experiments. My ability to do arts and crafts yesterday was a total gingerbread house fail.
Yeah, what happened at the end? Did you just
God bless Maggie for getting them gingerbread houses because it's like an activity, it's an indoor activity, but she had an emergency yesterday, so it was me and the boys. I am horrible at arts and crafts. Anything Michael's, you know, the store, anything from there, like I will
That's not your
mess
brain.
it up.
Yeah,
I will
don't have
mess
the
it
side.
up.
Okay.
Legos, yes.
Oh.
Magnetiles, yes. Anything arts and crafts, cutting, pasting, those gingerbread houses are hard to build.
Yeah, they don't stick together. The walls don't stick together. I don't get it. I don't understand. You know what? I remember this once. You're supposed to put the structure together the night before. Let it harden, then attack the exterior. Which I didn't do that either. Who has time for that? When you get it out, you're like,
It said hold it for a minute.
a minute.
The instructions said hold it in place for a minute, and then, you know, on the box, it's got all these perfectly placed gumdrops and things.
Did you eat it after it? You were like,
We had a couple bites. Like, it was just...
Is it in the garbage?
No, it's still there, but it was a fail. Hopefully,
Maybe not.
I think it occupied us for about 15 or 20 minutes, but and ended in frustration.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk to the folks at Griffin MSI about some cool indoor science experiments we can do to. We call them burning a unit, which means an hour of indoor time. It's like, oh, that'll burn a unit. You know what I mean?
My kids are all about the crafts and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah. And then here is something awesome. We are going to be interviewing a guy who has gotten millions of reactions online.
Yeah.
This is absolutely adorable. It's romantic too. He is on a quest to be able to afford a really nice engagement ring for his girlfriend. He has taken a side gig. He is moonlighting as a DoorDash driver to get this done.
Yeah.
So we're going to check in with him on where he is in his effort to afford
And what the goal is,
that
right?
ring.
Yeah.
But first,
we're talking about
this
Santa.
is in your territory.
Oh, yeah.
This has to do with radars and stuff.
NORAD Santa Tracker, one of the best holiday traditions, has launched for this year. And we're talking about the Santa Tracker with Brenna Stanecki-Hutchins, OnStar social and influencer marketing specialist. So thank you so much for joining us this morning,
Hey.
Brenna.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Okay, so Santa isn't on the move yet. What are people going to see when they open up this tracker that's launched for the year?
Yes, so Santa is still wrapping things up at the North Pole based on my last correspondence. But if you have a GM vehicle, so a Buick, Chevrolet, Cadillac, or GMC, you can push your blue OnStar button and hear a really fun story called Santa in Space. There's 7 different parts all leading up to Christmas Eve. You can also use the OnStar Guardian app if you don't have a GM vehicle. And you can also chat with Santa, let him know what you want for Christmas, and he might let you know if you've been naughty or nice. So really exciting to bring this magic to our OnStar members this year.
Whoa.
This is all via audio in the car while you're driving, Brenna?
Yeah, you can push your blue OnStar button while you're on the road, parked in your driveway. I actually just went out earlier to push my button, hear the today's story, and make sure everything is all in ship shape for Christmas. You can also do it from the comfort of your own home if you have the Guardian app. So lots of options.
Oh, okay. So what's the story saying right now? Where's Santa? What's he doing? We talked to him. What was it yesterday? We chatted with him a little bit. He's gearing up. He's got less than a week now.
Yeah, no, you're very correct. He's super busy, less than a week. Last I talked, he was still quality checking all of the toys for the kids. So
going through the list, checking it twice.
How long are these audio stories or these audio check-in stories for the kids? You know, do we do it if we're picking them up from school, or is this long road trip material?
You know, it can be both. It's kind of choose your own adventure, but the story clips are about 2 to 3 minutes each. So you can go back and listen to them if you want to just have a quick, fun way to start your morning, or if you want to listen to all the segments that have been launched so far. They're available on the app or on OnStar.com. So lots of options for you to listen to these stories.
So every day you push the button and it'll tell you a new story. How does this affect the actual, like, using the OnStar if you need it for like an emergency?
Oh.
So there are 2 different buttons in the vehicle for OnStar. There's the blue button, which gets you connected to an advisor. If you say Santa, they'll kind of get you on the Santa path. If you need help with roadside assistance, you can also say that, and you'll be able to get connected to an advisor. And there's always the emergency button available as well if you're in a dire situation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I understand there's an adventure story called Santa in Space. Tell us about that, Brenna.
Yes, so we have partnered this year with children's author Adam Rubin, and he created a really exciting 7-part story for us called Santa in Space, which details a really fun adventure of Santa and his robot reindeer traveling through the galaxies and outer space. So I don't want to give too much away, but it will be available in your vehicle through your blue button or on the Guardian app or online.
Okay, so maybe somebody is listening who has a little kiddo who's just getting to the age where they can enjoy the Santa Tracker. Can you explain what the NORAD Santa Tracker is?
Yes, absolutely. So we have been partnering with NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense. We've been partnering with them for 17 years on tracking Santa's location on Christmas Eve, but they've been working with Santa long before we've been partnering with them. So they use very top secret government data to work with Santa and keep tabs on his location. So you can keep track on his journey on Christmas Eve. I know everyone wants to make sure they're in bed and asleep, so they have their the timing right, so they get their presents on Christmas Day.
I love it. I love it. Last year, I think my boys checked it every 10 minutes.
No way.
Before
on your phone or on the TV?
On the TV.
On the TV.
Yeah, and our phone.
Oh.
Yeah, they were wanting to check it like every 10 minutes before we finally got them wound down.
I love that so much. They can learn geography then too. Like, okay, look, they're
He's over Kazakhstan right now,
Right,
guys.
yes.
He's got a while to go before he comes to.
Yeah.
Hey, Brenna, where can folks go to learn more about the new features this year to keep track of the big man himself?
Yes, we want to make sure everyone has all the information possible because we want to make sure everyone has tabs on Santa. But you can visit OnStar.com and there's all the information about Santa in space, Santa Tracker, as well as our partnership with the American Red Cross, because for every time you do push that blue button or use your Guardian app, it's a $1 donation to the Red Cross. So all that information can be found on OnStar.com.
I love that. I was going to ask you about that. So every time
Wow.
someone pushes the button, $1 goes to the American Red Cross.
Yes, that is
Let's
correct. Up to
go.
$30,000, which they're a great partner for us. They do a lot for our communities in times of need, and it's, you know, it is the season of giving, so it's great to have that aspect as well.
So
Fun.
great. Happy holidays to you, Brenna. Thank you for the service, too, enabling us to really keep tabs on this guy, because inquiring minds always want to know.
Keeping the magic alive.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy holidays.
You too.
Happy holidays.
You too.
That's
All
so
right.
fun. I don't know if I've got one of those buttons. I don't think I
We
do.
don't.
An OnStar.
Well, you know my car.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 2001 Super Impreza.
Yeah.
This is
Your
well
car doesn't even have
before.
electric
Did
windows.
did she say 17 years? The
Yes,
NORAD?
she
Okay.
did.
But what, has the OnStar been around for 17 years as well?
I don't.
I'm
this
like
is a
two
new partnership,
generations.
I think.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like 2 generations behind
The
in car
OnStar button.
Yeah, in car technology.
That's
yeah.
fun. That's-
You practically have to. You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You
Oh,
practically have to roll the
Get a
windows.
workout
up.
on
I
your
do
arm.
have power windows.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super
All right.
convenient.
But no backup camera.
No backup camera.
How do you
Only one
survive?
cup holder. Yeah, it's.
Wow.
It gets me from A to B though.
When I'm back in a
here.
parking spot, I don't even know what I would do if I didn't have a camera. You know, I will get out of the car and wipe off that lens if I have to.
That is a nice feed. We have our other car is a little nicer, and that rear camera does come up big sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, fun. Okay, so you got to get the app then.
Got to get the app.
OnStar app.
OnStar. Push that button.
Santa in
$1.
space. How fun.
$1 to the Red Cross every time you smash that button. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get educated about
We're going to have some fun.
science.
Yes, heck
And how
yes.
to have fun indoors over this upcoming winter break with our good friends over at Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. We'll be right back.
just about 10:20. I gotta say, so we're talking about kids getting antsy inside, and Anthony just reminded me that we have about 2 weeks of a Christmas break right around the corner.
Yeah.
My family's been fighting like illness, and we've been home for like a week already. So this is really going to come in handy because when I tell you we've got cabin fever, it doesn't even begin to describe what's going on. Okay, so joining us this morning is Amy. She's the education coordinator, and Tana, who's the education coordinator as well at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry, to show us different experiments that we can try with our kiddos. So where do you guys want to start this morning?
We'll start over here. We tried to pick some things that you guys probably already have at home. And if you don't, it's a quick trip to the dollar store, the corner store to grab some of this stuff.
Nice.
So the first one we'll do is we're going to go fishing for ice.
Okay.
Do you want to help me?
Well, heck yeah.
Let's go ice fishing without being frigid enough.
Yes.
Indoor ice
fishing. So go ahead and try to pick up one of those ice cubes with your little fishing pole.
Go fishing.
Seems impossible.
Well, what's happening? Do you see?
It's bending.
I mean, it's just like
nothing.
Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and get those in there. Go ahead and lay them.
Put it in there. Like the
Should I shove it in?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, you can put it in there a little bit. There we go. We'll just do this and then put yours in there a little bit more. And then I'm going to put some salt into the cup. And we're just going to let it sit there for a couple of seconds. So you can talk to your kiddos about, hey, what do you think? Do I use salt and ice anywhere else? Like, have you ever seen me do this? And you can talk a little bit about why we put salt on our sidewalks.
So
if
this
you
is
want
just
to.
water and ice.
Yeah, just water and ice. And then we're going to put some salt on for a second. And
ooh, it's pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't take more than a minute. We can try to give a little tug and see if it's ready to stick. You want to see if you can pull some out yet? If not, we'll stick it back in there. Can we get it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's
okay.
okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
But you can see that it's starting to stick. Uh-oh. Here, let's get our ice all. There we go. Our ice was melting.
This is also one of those things, if you want to not trick your children, but maybe have them think that you are just the coolest parents of all time. You can be
Pretty
like, hey,
magical.
do you think I can lift up this ice? And they're like, no,
With
of
the
course
string.
not. And you're like, well,
Watch me go.
yeah.
Watch
All
me
right,
go.
magic.
Okay, give it another tug. There.
Yeah,
Here,
you try yours.
Go for it.
See if yours can do it.
Oh, look at this. Look.
You caught a big one.
Exactly. Look at that.
And then
Who knew?
if they're really bugging you and they want to know, you want to tell them your secret, then you just let them know that the salt is going to lower that freezing point of water, which normally is 32. So it's just going to freezing point depression a little bit, and then it'll where the salt is, it'll melt the ice a little bit, and then it gets stuck back, frozen back to the string, and then gives you a little easy
That's
to pull out.
That's cute.
interesting. So it thaws and then freezes again?
This will.
Yeah, it's lowering the freezing point.
So,
it can be a
it'll melt a little
competition.
bit, but it's still just, it's a cup of really cold water, so it'll eventually freeze again.
I don't know if either of you will be able to field this question, but for some reason, this makes me think of the scene in The Christmas Story where the kid puts his tongue on the pole, which is an actual phenomenon.
Yeah.
Am I right? So can you guys, either of you comment on the science at play there?
The sticking?
Yeah.
Well,
Is that?
Well, our tongues are very wet, right? And he stuck his tongue on the very, very cold pole.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's freezing some of the moisture in our tongue, and then it's stuck. It's like.
Is it the same phenomenon at play here with the salt, or is it different?
Well, in that case, you're not lowering the freezing point. You just stuck your tongue to something that's below the freezing point, and it froze some of the moisture in your tongue.
It's kind of like when you have freezing rain. When it rains, but the ground is below freezing. Freezes on contact.
Look at that little weather science.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
She's a meteorologist.
Yeah.
So
That is
very simple
amazing.
but very
Love it.
fun.
Yep.
Kind of impress your kids. They can see how many they can pick up.
The elf might get into some shenanigans.
Totally.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
how much salt do you need?
Not very much. Just pour a little
on the top.
Ours, yeah. I had set the ice in here for I had to poke it a little bit because it was already starting to like melt to itself, get stuck together. So that's why I poked it a little bit. But then you should be able to get a pretty good
That's
chunk
darling.
The elf
I
might
love
go ice
that.
fishing. That's a great idea.
Yes. Okay, what do we got going here
Okay,
in the
so
middle?
we know that we like to make snow globes around this time of year,
sure.
right? But what normally happens when you shake it, all of it falls to the ground. It's kind of a bummer. Really, you're just making a mixture. So we have a pre-made one here. My little griffin hiding. This is just glycerin and water. You want to give it a shake?
Sure.
So glycerin is more dense than the water. And it's going to, once you stop, it's going to slow down that water wanting to fall, and it looks suspended in there.
Yeah.
Like magic. Okay.
Glycerin is the stuff in soap?
Yes.
Or, okay. So what is this just Dawn?
This is just glycerin and water, and you can easily make this at home, but if you want to get a little more active, if you're feeling that cabin fever, then we're going to make kind of a snowstorm snow globe if you guys are up for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So you are going to pour in just this water. This is regular water in this jar.
All right.
Where can you buy glycerin? The grocery store?
The grocery store or a drugstore.
It's in the beauty section, really.
Oh.
Glycerin.
Moisturizer.
People use it on their skin to
Okay.
anti-aging. You guys
Okay,
talked about
we've been
that
talking
earlier?
about that's the theme of the day, as you guys
So now that's just water. Now if you would pour all of this is baby oil.
Okay.
And the baby oil is, even though you think it's thicker, it is way less dense, so it's actually going to float on top. You can kind of see that. Already cool, you know, it has bubbles. We're going to make it better.
Sure.
We have some paint here. If you all would just plop some, pick your poison. That's glitter paint, little festive.
Ooh.
Pipettes, because
Any little acrylic paints you have around from maybe
just put little
crafts
drops
you've
in
done.
there.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
This
did I
looks
ruin
like
it?
a lava lamp.
It does look like a lava
exactly
lamp.
like
It's that same science. Okay, do we have enough snow, you
It's like
think?
the first kind of time I've used an eyedropper since chemistry class.
You still got it.
I want some.
Still got the pipettes.
I want
I had
some
pink eye a
safety
couple
goggles.
weeks ago, so I'm used to the.
Oh,
I know these ladies are like, get away from me.
So right now, nothing's happening, right? It's cool.
Right.
You can see that the paint is kind of suspended in that oil. Some of it's starting to drop. But now we want to make it snow. So I have some crushed up Alka-Seltzer right here. If you guys want to drop some tablets in there.
Go for it, Antho.
Okay, all right,
We're
thank
going to
you.
make a snowstorm. So the Alka-Seltzer sinks to the bottom. And what do we know about Alka-Seltzer? It fizzes,
Fizzy.
right? So it's going to begin to fizz at the bottom in that water.
Wow.
And then it's going to start to drag that paint up to the top. If you can see that, I guess.
Wait, that looks really cool. Could you put some food coloring in there? for me?
Absolutely. So now we have our little snowstorm
Oh my gosh, look at that.
in a bottle.
That's darling.
It's pretty with the glitter and the paint. That's
Yeah.
So
much
we have
better.
paint, glycerin.
This
Water.
is baby oil.
Oh, sorry.
This is the
Paint, baby oil, water, Alka-Seltzer.
And that's it.
This is
When the Alka-Seltzer runs out, you can put more in there. It can be entertaining for hours. You can see who has the biggest bubbles. You can put glitter. You can put little, I've seen little action figures in there, and they float around like they're bubbling.
we have little plastic trees. You know, they're like Lego. You could actually go diorama. You could go full out like diorama with those.
Absolutely.
So if you want to make the snow globe, you got to use the glycerin. But the snowstorm, you use the baby oil.
'cause you don't want to like shake that up. You want the baby oil to
Yeah,
get the
this
top
has
and
that
underneath the
carbonation in
bottom.
there, so if you start to shake it, it, you know, will do what bubbles do and build up some pressure. But it is cool to see. It's the snow we want to see inside and not outside. And
Wonderful.
It's pretty
This is
mesmerizing
also
to watch.
doable. I don't know if you guys overheard me talking about my gingerbread house disaster last night.
did.
This is way more
Contained.
user-friendly.
Yes, you can't fail at this.
This
but
is-
it's getting your hands on science and you're doing some crafting at the same
Totally.
time.
I love it.
But
All
if
right.
you want to take up the whole hour, like you were talking about,
Kill some units.
A unit. Burn a unit.
This one
You need to
is
burn a
going to
unit.
be a little bit higher on the mess scale, but very entertaining.
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna make some fake snow, right? And then we can play all kinds of games with it. We brought some catapults we
did.
built,
Oh,
something that we do in our camps
Look
and
out,
in some of our labs. Yep.
Oh,
So
look.
we're gonna go ahead and make some. So let's show you how easy this is. If you're gonna dump all of that baking soda into this bowl, the
All
whole
of it.
thing.
Okay. The whole thing.
It's a great use for that baking soda that's been
If
in
you
the
want to
fridge
get rid
for
of
too long.
Yeah.
conditioner.
This
Now,
is
there's
conditioner.
many different recipes. Anthony, I think you mentioned you guys might have tried a different recipe. You can try.
Yes. It
This
was
is-
it was shaving cream and it was I don't do well with the smell of that. I don't,
it's
you
very
know.
potent.
It's the
Yeah.
Gillette is potent.
I hope you like this smell because I really do. It's coconut, but it
I don't
could be
smell.
any,
Oh, it's coconut's way
that's
better.
good.
yeah,
That's
any
good.
white conditioner or really
Yeah.
any color if you want a tinted snow. But
Okay.
So this
guys
is
wanna give
just
it a mix?
regular
Just regular
conditioner.
conditioner.
Okay,
We got
so we
that
have
at
baking
Italian
soda.
store.
Baking soda.
All right, so
And
we're
give
just
it a mix.
mixing
Mix
this.
it up.
My kids would so be like, can I try it? Let me lick the spoon.
Well, there's a great way to learn.
It is non-toxic, so
right?
that's a good thing for kids because
Oh,
they
it's
do like
soft.
to taste things every once in a while.
Yes.
This smells way better than the Gillette. So.
Okay.
But you know, if
Yeah.
you wanted them to try, at our camps they do try different recipes to try to see like what makes the perfect snowball.
Okay, I want to touch that.
Do it.
And
Here you go.
can touch it. It's just gonna get a little messy.
Oh.
But it's easy to wipe off, and also you could just sweep it up if it gets on your floor. But you can use some type of like tray, like a baking tray, or even put out some wax paper and just let your kids make little winter scenes.
Nice.
That's so fun.
Is that a good?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Toss it a little bit.
But you didn't have to spend 5 minutes putting your snowsuit
This is
on.
way better
Go
than
play.
This is amazing.
Do you want to hand me that Grinch?
Oh, sure.
This is our little target.
Let's see.
Okay, we just need a little Grinch target. And why don't you try to launch that using the catapult and see if we can hit it.
Let's clear your path.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Your path.
Yeah, no
This is
pressure.
so fun, you guys.
Set you up for success.
I am on your level of arts and crafts. Here, hold the bottom of that.
Okay, so hold this.
Yep. And so, and then just pull it back.
Anthony, let's
He's got it.
Here's
Here
the
we go.
test.
Hold on.
Incoming.
Oh, hold on.
That's okay.
Hold on.
That's
A little
okay.
bit
We didn't put enough mustard on that. Ready? Oh,
so
you know what?
close.
This is too heavy of a snowball.
We might need
that
to add a few more rubber bands to give it some more tension. So you
Or
can
we
store a
need
little bit more
lighter
entry.
snow.
Or we
Our
could.
snow's really dense, Amy.
Very good point. Anthony,
Almost.
see if you use a snowball there, if that'll fly farther.
Okay.
Just
Like this one?
because, yep.
The head off the
Because it's a
snowman.
little.
This is heavier, guys.
Is
I
it
don't know.
heavier?
Yes.
I heard you both saying that you have some crafty kids and maybe we
Yes.
are craft averse.
Oh, there we go. That's a direct hit.
Nailed it.
Take
Very
that,
good.
Grinch.
Making a snowball launcher is a way to, you wouldn't fail at this. You can tie some rubber bands
That
together.
seems
and some
doable.
pop-
Yeah.
How did you craft these? I remember my first trip to a Japanese restaurant, you guys. It was in Evanston. The waiter came out and he had 2 chopsticks, but then he wadded up like, you know, the straw, the paper that comes on the wrapping for the straw.
Yeah.
Wadded up into a little ball, used rubber bands, and then it was just basically like tongs. He made them into the tongs, and that always stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of that phenomenon, although I think I just wrecked it.
No, you didn't. You can't really wreck it. It's popsicle sticks that are banded together to make this wedge that's going to allow us to have a little bit more tension and a spoon.
Like a
Do we have another option instead of conditioner to use? Do you guys know?
You can use the shaving cream.
The shaving
with
cream.
The baking soda.
Oh, okay.
There may be a couple more. It's really just something that's going to add a little bit of moisture, but not be too sticky after you mix it with the. So you could experiment yourself as long as you're using some non-toxic.
What about
ingredients.
like whipped cream?
Ooh, that might be a little bit on the wet side when you mix it.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
A little greasy.
but you know what? If you could just add more baking soda, if you're like, this is way too wet, soupy, you know, just keep adding baking soda until it becomes the right consistency. But you might have to buy a lot of baking soda. Because this was 3 cups. So this is a little bit more than like the normal box size.
Right,
You could also cut it down if you just want a little bit for your kids to play with. It's up to you.
But science is about experimentation, so try it out, and if it works, let us know. And
You
then
can
we'll
also
have
buy,
Sail forward.
you can also buy like the snow online, the fake snow that you just add water to, and it's like that polymer to like puff up, you know, soak up all the water. That's fun to play with too.
And
but
I love that.
if you don't want to go that route, here's an option for you.
This is fantastic. You know what else? A little tidbit, which I did one year. You know those plastic pools that you can put outside with the kids? You stick that thing on your living room floor and then do like an activity like this. Then they can really like sit in there, make a mess, and it can take.
And then you can drag it out.
Yeah, because my kids, goodness gracious, I get this on the counter. I'm like, all right, or the paint. It's like paint on the counter.
Yeah,
That's a good option.
Yeah, so these are low stakes, but high involvement.
High reward.
You can always come see us at the museum if you guys need an activity, and we do have camps on winter break, we have it on spring break, summer break, and some days when you don't have any school, we have day camps. Yeah. So we can take care of your kiddos for you and make the best of the museum.
I have one more question about the engineering of these. Is there any like website or something that you can go to for the instructions on this?
Just Google a simple catapult, and it'll go from there to here to even better ones. If you have a little maker-minded one at home, and they can build something really even better than
I got a little 4-year-old engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can add some counterweights to that.
You can make them out of Legos as long as you have something that is flexible. The rest of it could be about Legos.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your activities. I think we have a little more time to chat with you about that. So, so winter break's coming, Christmas is this week. Can you think, is there a certain time of day that parents should maybe consider coming to see some of these experiments happening during winter break, or is it kind of like a come and go as you please?
Well, our museum is always open and always ready to get your hands on some science. Right now it's a very busy time because our beautiful Christmas Around the World is going on, so there's over 50 Christmas trees, which that in and of itself is a huge time commitment, but also really beautiful. You can see all the different
Caitlin, you were
countries.
sick. We had one of your colleagues on. I was with Tia, but they've got 50, and they're all set up in the main rotunda.
in the
It looks
rotunda.
absolutely beautiful.
They're
Actually,
all
it's a great-
decorated by different representatives from different countries, so they're culturally representative. It's lovely.
It's very stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
okay.
every part of our museum is meant to be touched and interacted with. We are not a look and stare. We are a
Get in
hands-on
there.
science museum.
So what time are you guys open in the morning?
We open at 9:30.
9:30 parents, okay, I know those kiddos get up early and like 11 o'clock, it's like, what do you mean? That's in the afternoon. So 9:30 you can head that way.
Come on
And
down.
all of our camps are like live for registration, so you could register already for summer camp. Already for summer camp.
Yeah, it's that time. No, we turn the corner on the year. We're having to fill up that summer itinerary.
Right.
Come see us.
Yeah, fun.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks,
Amy
ladies.
and Tana, thank you guys both so much. Griffin MSI with some great ideas for indoor fun these next couple of weeks. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to meet a very special, I'm going to say he's a romantic.
Yes.
This is a romantic person, okay? He has gone above and beyond to afford that elusive engagement ring for his longtime girlfriend. A love story, a local one, when we come back.
Saturday, a football doubleheader.
We wanted to mention that one of the camps, what is it called, ladies, again, the camp? Fab Lab. If you want to sign your kids up for the Fab Lab camps, they have 3D printers. So if your kids are interested in technology and 3D printing.
3D printing, was this 3D printed right here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they made this for us, and they did a little painting. So how fun is that for your kids to be able to see a 3D printer? That's awesome. All right, so that's, by the way, Griffin MSI.
Yep.
So now we're talking about a good, better, best tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
All Bears fans chanting a new motto thanks to the Bears head coach Ben Johnson. One fan is taking it a step further, and he's going to carry it with him forever.
Look at that.
Yes.
Mike Pendleton.
Joining us over Zoom to tell us about this fabulous tattoo. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a great fan as well and joining us here on your home of the Chicago Bears, Fox 32 Chicago. Mike, let's before we talk about, the new ink here, let's hear about your origin story as a Bears fan. How deep do the roots go, my friend?
They go as deep as they possibly can. They're the reason I got into sports broadcasting. I remember sitting there in 2006, crying as a 13-year-old because the Super Bowl did not go in our favor. And then at 22 years old, got the opportunity to work in Chicago in radio, working for some of those players in which I grew up watching. So not only are they my favorite team in all of sports, but they're the reason I do what I do today. And I will always be a Bears fan through the good and the bad.
You know what? Spoken like a true fan right there. Who were your, you mentioned how heartbreaking that 2006 Super Bowl was against the Colts. Who were your favorite players from that era? Like, who do you remember your first, hey, that's my guy?
Well, I have to say, because we are still friends to this day, so if I don't mention him, I'd probably get in trouble. Jason McKee, fullback. Yeah. Besides, who likes fullbacks, in today's football? So a little throwback to a position that's lost these days. Obviously, Charles Tillman, Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, all those guys that made the defense, and, of course, Devin Hester just electrified this city in ways on a football side that we had not seen since Walter Payton. So I would say everyone, but those 4 or 5 guys specifically definitely stole my heart as a football fan.
It's fun to even just think about the electricity that those guys brought to the football field in that era. Let's not forget about Sexy Rexy, too. Rex Gross, remember that guy?
I want to know, Mike, the football aside, is this your first tattoo? Were you nervous, and did it hurt?
No, so actually the first tattoo I had, I got in high school, and that was because I thought if I got it early, I'd be the cool kid on campus. I was not cool kid on campus. And I'm not the cool 33-year-old with a Bears tattoo where I live in Southwest Missouri now. You are. But it did not hurt. I actually almost fell asleep, and the hoodie I'm wearing, which has the whole chant on it, I used that as my pillow while getting the tattoo. I was actually shocked. 15 years apart, and I was actually shocked that I took the pain as well as I did.
Listen, we were speaking with one of our producers before we came on the air today talking about tattoos, because we were talking about this interview we're going to be doing. She fell asleep, too. I guess maybe that's a common thing. I don't have any, but maybe that's a common thing. Okay, so tell us, this motto, man, I want, as such a longtime Bears fan, will you just talk to us a little bit about what this motto means to you and just what you feel Ben Johnson and his leadership has brought to the group?
All right, guys, so this is a little deeper for me, and I'll make it very quick, but I have an opportunity to cover this team and write for them on a website. And last year, I don't think it got any worse for me throughout my fanhood of the Bears. A 10-game losing streak, first time a coach has ever been fired. And in my personal life, sometimes you just meet somebody and things start off good, then they get better. And now where I sit today on December 19th, I'm at the best stage of my personal life because of that relationship. And I feel the same thing could be said about the Bears and Ben Johnson. When you're just getting started, you want to make that great first impression. You're going to have some bumps along the way, which the Bears did to start this season, but the positive affirmations that he's injected with this city and all the things he's done for this city, from taking the shirt off to, I mean, how could I not follow a guy with this much energy? I think it's so much more than just a victory chant. I think it's something that Bears fans need to remember in their personal life as well.
Good.
Not too deep for us. I actually think that's an amazing message, and it occurs to me that, yeah, you're right. That motto, it's a scalable motto. I mean, we could use it in our personal life. We could use it in our lives as parents, and of course, at work as well. Right?
Yeah. Hey, so you said you don't live in Chicago. I know we got to wrap it, but you don't even live in Chicago right now.
Southwest Missouri?
Yeah, I'm in Southwest Missouri. Love brought me here. I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh.
And, on the sports show that I do, I made the proclamation that, hey, if the Bears beat the Commanders, I'll go get this tattoo. And everyone said, we don't know you. We don't believe you. There's no way you'll do it. And I did it because the Bears are doing it.
We commend you, Mike Pendleton. And I hope that means great juju for the whole team. Hey, real quick before we let you go, sir, your prediction for mañana. We got a big game against Green Bay about 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going Bears 34, Packers 20, and that's being nice about it. I can't wait to yell this victory chant before and after the game. And a happy holidays to you guys, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Likewise,
Coach should be reaching out to you and giving you free tickets.
There you go.
Get you in the locker room. Take your suit off and show them your tattoo.
Mike Pendleton, thanks for your time. Love seeing you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I like his confidence too. 34-20. I think that's a good prediction. Yeah. That'd be nice. Keep it kind of interesting for a while, and then like take a foot off the gas in the fourth quarter.
It's so
Maybe
fun.
throw Bajent in. No, we'll see. Hey, as promised, when we come back, we're going to meet this local. I love this local.
Gentleman.
It's a local love story.
Yes.
We're gonna get out the Kleenex, everybody.
DoorDash Kleenex. Coming up, we're going to tell you how long it takes to save up for a ring. when you
Yes,
do
and
DoorDash.
how this guy's doing it when we come back.
I can't afford to propose to my girlfriend, so today's day one of door dashing for a diamond ring. But let me start from the beginning. 6 months ago, I bought a condo we both fell in love with. Problem is, it made me so house poor I can't even afford to propose. We've been together for a year and a half. The ring she deserves, $6,500. And I'm starting at zero. So every night after work, I'm door dashing. Because waiting for the perfect moment is just fear with a deadline. And she deserves more than my excuses. So I'm starting now. Follow to see how long it takes.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is a journey you're taking us on.
Correct.
So this is Bradley Cho, and obviously you saw that message. He's on a mission to save up for a wedding ring or an engagement ring for his soon-to-be wife. And this video that we just watched blew up on TikTok. You had 2 million likes on this thing.
Correct. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and I really appreciate all the support that folks online have been giving, and I think it just kind of speaks to, love is in the air and love is alive. Romance is not dead. So.
Were you on TikTok before? Or was this the kickoff to your journey?
No, I've been on social media for about like three years now.
Oh, okay.
And then prior to this, I had posted every day for I think 2 months.
Every day? How many people are following you?
Initially it was, I think, maybe 170.
Yeah.
And then I think right now it's 155,000.
Wow.
Oh.
So wait, these 170, when you had been posting every day for a month, had you posted that video?
No.
Okay.
No,
so that's what really kicked it all off. So for those first 30 days, were you just posting about, just random stuff in your personal life?
Yeah, just things that, were going on, things, maybe about my job or things about, little things about our relationship. Nothing nothing too crazy. I actually started out, my first video was a cat video, a funny cat video. So
who doesn't love a funny cat video?
That's how I got on social media first. So.
There we go.
That's wonderful. So you guys bought a place together, and you thought, I want to marry this girl, but I don't have the money to buy a proper ring, you said. So what made you think that this would be a good option? Is this your full-time job? Is this a side gig? You said in the evenings you're doing the DoorDash?
Correct. So I work as a procurement manager at a chemical company. That's my full-time job. And then with I bought the condo 6 months ago. And so I was running through all the finances, and I'm realizing, you know, if there's an emergency that happens, you know, anything that I've saved for the month, it just disappears, right? And I think everyone is aware things are kind of getting more expensive.
Yeah.
And and I realized that I can't just wait and hope that one day I'll have enough money to buy a ring or anything that she wants, right? I want to give her the world, and if there's things that I need to take action, I need to make a plan. And so I wanted to make a commitment online, you know, document it in public, and make sure that I hold myself accountable, right, to DoorDash every day, and make sure that I'm working towards a tangible goal of her dream engagement ring. So.
This is unbelievable, so inspiring, and I really admire your commitment to this and follow through so far.
Yeah.
How long have you been door dashing then? Like how long ago did you post that?
So this was about 12 days ago, I think 11 to 12 days ago. So
12 days ago?
Yeah.
Wait, you just blew up 12 days ago.
Yeah. So it's been,
And your DoorDash career is 12 days old right now.
No, I initially actually started door dashing in college. So I door dashed for a period of time in college, and then when I came back, or when I moved to Chicago, and early on in our relationship, one of our cats got sick and they had to get surgery. And so in order to pay for that surgery bill, I did DoorDash for that as well.
Okay,
and, I was going to say, Caitlin, you know this too, as a homeowner, like Bradley said, it's like anything that goes wrong, you could have a water heater go out.
Exactly.
That's $6K right there.
Yeah.
You kind of have to have that mindset, like that little cash flow on hand. Go ahead. So
I was going to ask, I commend you to save this money instead of going into debt. Why did you choose that not an option to throw it on a credit?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of easy options, right? There's always, buy now, pay later, but in a marriage, there's no easy option, right? It's about showing up every day, being committed to the person for life. And I think I want this to be proof to her that I'm not going to take an easy way out. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to take the easy way out. And I think I want to show that and prove that. And I think actions definitely mean more than words. And it's easy to say that, but it's harder to prove it. So I think it's going to take, originally I thought it was going to take around like 90 to 100 days. And so, but I've been putting in a couple more hours, so we'll see. We'll see if I can.
What does that say? Can you give us an insight into the takeaway? I know you're not door dashing all day because you got a day job, but like, how long is this going to take? You got to get to 6,500.
Yep.
Where are you at in your journey, and kind of paint a picture for how quickly this is going to...
Yeah. So right now I am 12 days in. I've gotten about $500. And at that rate, it'll probably take a little over 100 days, but I know there's some special promotions, and a lot of the folks online have been really generous and giving me some tips on how to make a little bit more money on...
So advice, not tips, the gratuity, like go...
Advice, correct, yeah.
What have you been hearing from people online? Give us a flavor for that.
I think it's been overwhelming support, right? I think a lot of people have been so supportive in our relationship. They've been so supportive in, being able to, of me actually taking action and making, her dreams come true, so.
Okay, so I want to know, maybe someone's watching, it's Christmas, as you mentioned, things are expensive these days, the bills are stacking up. Maybe DoorDash could be a good option for someone who needs a little bit of extra money. How do you go about that process of being hired by DoorDash, and what is that experience like?
Yeah, I think with any delivery service, there's a routine kind of like background check. You have to show that you have a license. You also have to, show that you have a vehicle that's properly registered and in working condition. And so I think the barriers to entry are pretty low. It might take a handful of days, but I think anyone, to get approved and everything through these services, through these apps and services, but I think it's definitely something anyone with a car can do.
Do they pay you per delivery or hourly?
Correct.
Per delivery.
Per delivery.
And then on
so
top
12
of that, you get,
days,
like, a tip.
500. So you're like $50 a day ish.
Yeah, just a little under. So.
And then how much of the time are you waiting in the restaurant? I've been curious about this because I drove Lyft for years. How much of the time are you in the car versus kind of waiting in the restaurant versus kind of out on sidewalks, like, you know, with the bag?
Yeah, I think most of the time I is spent in the car. Of course, you'll have 1 or 2 restaurants that might take a little longer, and you might have to wait, 5-10 minutes. But yeah, a lot of the time is spent in the car, and the deliveries are pretty seamless.
So your lady's waiting in the wings, so we don't want to, give the secret away. But I'm sure with all this thought that you're putting into this engagement ring, do you have a big plan?
Of course. Of course. So
right.
The date is in mind.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it here,
No,
but it's a date that's special to both of us.
Wow.
Let's hear. We got to get a little the background. So love is in the air this holiday season. How did you all meet? How did you all come together? Tell us about the origin story here.
Yeah. So we met online, and then we actually had a mutual friend who was in we went to the same college, and then he went to her home church, and so we talked, and then when we initially started talking, I had asked her out, but she had to go on a family vacation for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks after we kind of initially started talking, we couldn't see each other, and so when we finally came back, we went on our first date to mini golf, and she'd always wanted to go mini golfing, but she never had the chance to do so, and so it was almost like without even knowing it, I made the right choice, on the first date. And I'm a competitive person, and yeah, it's crazy how it worked out like that. But I'm a competitive person. We made a bet for whoever loses mini golf would pay for ice cream after mini golf. I won by just 1 stroke. It was a miracle that I somehow won. And so we get to the ice cream. It was
competitive, though.
Yeah, it was competitive. And she had never played before, but she's super talented. And so we went to the ice cream shop. We picked out our ice cream, and she was ruffling through her purse to pick out her wallet. And then, of course, as a gentleman, I had to pay for the first date. And
of course, there you go.
Yeah, so after we got ice cream, we talked for, I think, like 2 or 3 hours, just about everything. And it just meant the world, and I think from the first date, I just knew.
So I was going to ask, was there a moment, or was it just kind of that whole first date vibe where you're like, yeah, that's the one?
Yeah, I think when I fully realized is when she went to Korea. So for 3 weeks, we went on a trip to Korea 6 months into our relationship, but she went 3 weeks earlier than I did. And so for 3 weeks, we were long distance, and I think there was just a lot of things in my life that kind of lost some color to it. Like I remember I got a free scoop of meat of a chicken at Chipotle, and she was asleep at the time, and I couldn't tell her. And I was it's just those little things, little moments that you kind of wish you could share. And then I think that's when I just knew she was the one. So.
She's tearing up, and she's making me tear up right now.
It's refreshing to hear this because I remember when Maggie and I were in that phase, and you want to share, when you're in the early goings and that's the one, you do want to share the extra scoop of meat at Chipotle. You want to be like, hey, sweetie.
I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Oh, I love that. Well, congratulations. I know we got to wrap it up.
Congrats.
We're going to hit that goal. We'll follow you along. Social media account.
Where do people follow?
Yeah, it's Brad J. Cho, BradJCHO on all platforms, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Follow his journey. Chivalry and romance is not dead. I also have to mention, and we're not going to put her on the spot because I understand she don't want to say behind the scenes, but there's tears being shed behind the camera. And I just can't.
Beautiful.
Can you imagine a better way to end our hour?
No.
On this note, Bradley, congratulations.
Thank you. All
right. Yeah. Happy trip. Keep us posted, sir.
We'll do.
All right. I feel bad for Jake right now because I'm not sure how you follow this. Jake Hamilton's over there too. So good luck to him. We're going to see how this all unfolds. He's giving me a look right now. Jake Hamilton and company are coming up right after this short break.
to the 11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. I am your only host, Jake Hamilton. I'm doing it Han style. I'm doing it solo. We've got so many amazing things coming up on the show over the next 60 minutes. But our next guest is probably the reason that the fifth and final season of Stranger Things is as good as it is. He is the MVP in what is already an MVP season. Take a look.
Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathe in and out. As you continue breathing, I want you to picture yourself on a beach. The water is blue, blue as a smurf. You listen to it lap the sandy shore, like a dog slurping from his bowl. It's called visualization. Mom does it when she's out of Valium.
Oh, the line of the season. That is Jake Connolly as delightful Derek Turnbow in season 5 of Stranger Things. Jake, the way you have stolen this show away from the actors who've been on it for all 5 seasons, are you feeling the excitement? I know I'm not the only one who's been gushing to you. Are you feeling the love from the fans around the country?
You know, I have to say it's amazing that everybody is just so kind to me. You know, being a newcomer on the show, I was definitely a little bit nervous coming on, but everybody on set and off set made me feel so welcome through the media, and everybody made me feel like I was really a part of it.
Well, you are a part of it, and now you're a great part of it. And, you know, you bring up a great point. You know, coming into the game sort of this late into it, you know, I know whenever I love a show and they try to introduce a new character at the very end, oftentimes my reaction as a fan is, okay, who's this person? Who is this person you're trying to shove into the show at the very end? But with you, and I think a big part of it is because of your performance, I think instantly people loved Derek as much as they loved these other characters that we've been following for a decade. Why do you think people have latched on to Derek the way they have?
You know, I think I have to give it up to the Duffer Brothers.
Yes.
For their writing was just so amazing, and that they entrusted me with this role to actually help and bring Derek to life. I feel like that's a huge part. The writing is a huge part of why people love Derek.
Well, you know, you can have the best writing in the world, but if you don't have the actor who can pull it off, it doesn't matter. And the way you deliver some of these lines is absolutely incredible. I have buried the lead a little bit. I think people are going to be fascinated when they find out where you're from.
I'm actually from Arlington Heights, up in the northwest suburbs.
Maybe future home of our Chicago Bears. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of people want to know, how did you end up in Hawkins being from the Chicago area?
You know, actually, it was my mom's friend. He actually directs the Feldco Windows commercials.
Okay.
He actually asked if I wanted to be on one because he needed a kid who kind of looked like me and had glasses. So I said, sure, why not? And one thing led to the next. We got signed on with a talent agency, and they said, Jake, you're going to Hawkins.
Oh, come on. Now, you know, you can't trust everything you read on the internet, but I did read something that I thought was really interesting. When you got the phone call telling you that you had landed this role, where were you?
We were actually just coming up from the basement after a tornado warning, and when we were on the Zoom call, there were still sirens going off all around the house, and it was just pretty amazing.
So you had just come out, just escaped this tornado warning, horrible weather. It almost feels kind of poetic in a way that you'd go from one very dramatic situation to another kind of dramatic situation. When you get that phone call, how do they say it? What do they actually say when you pick up and say, yeah, this is Jake?
Well, we were like, yeah, what's up? And everybody from the entire talent agency, LA, New York, Chicago, all the different branches, they just went on there and I quote, Jake, you're going to Hawkins.
Come on. Yep. That's how they said it?
Exactly.
What a great line. What a great way to say it. I'm really curious, the audition, because you know, there's so much secrecy around this show. Even, you know, I interviewed the cast a few weeks back, and they only gave me the first 3. And so they're very secretive about, you know. So whenever you are auditioning, how much did they actually tell you about what the story was going to be and who Derek was going to be? Did you know a lot at that time?
Not actually, no, because they just really said Derek was going to be a bully. And a really funny story is that instead of actual sides from the show, they gave me dummy sides from the movie Home Alone for Buzz.
Wait, okay, so explain to people, for people that don't know what sides are, explain what sides are.
So those were the lines that I had to record and send in for the auditions. So they gave me Buzz's lines from Home Alone.
Which, if you don't know Buzz, that was Kevin's very mean older brother. Wait, do you remember what the scenes were by any chance? You remember what Buzz's lines were?
I believe it was the one where Buzz was telling Kevin about the South Bend shovel slayer. I think it was. Yeah.
I kind of now need to see you as Buzz in a remake of Home Alone. I feel like you could land that. So okay, so that's pretty incredible. So you use Home Alone sides to land the role as Derek, which actually makes a lot of sense, and it's also kind of poetic because that's such a Chicago movie.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you get this, you escape tornadoes to get this pretty epic phone call, and then how much of a gap between you're going to Hawkins compared to when you actually did end up, because you guys shoot in Georgia?
Yes, we shoot it in Atlanta. Actually, it was 2024. So because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike, we actually got the call back in spring of 2023, and we did not start filming until January of 2024.
Wow. And for people that don't know, whenever you land a big role like this, particularly for a show like this, the final season of a show like this, obviously you can't tell people. You can't tell people what you're doing. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to know what I'm talking about. People at home aren't going to know what I'm talking about. Tell me about this mayonnaise documentary.
Oh, actually, a lot of my friends were asking, and especially back in 6th grade, because I was leaving, a lot to go try on some outfits and do some fitting.
For Stranger Things.
Yeah, for Stranger Things. And I just had to tell him, oh yeah, I'm just doing a mayonnaise documentary, and that's it. Nothing to ask for. Yeah.
So to kind of throw him off the scent, you told him you were shooting a mayonnaise documentary.
Yeah.
And you told them that why?
I told them that because I don't think there's many people in the world who have follow-up questions to a mayonnaise documentary.
And see, that's so fascinating to me, because I'm going to be honest with you. If anyone in my life told me I'm going to go be in a mayonnaise documentary, I would have more questions than if they told me they were going to be in Stranger Things. Like, wow. You had no follow-ups to tell me about this mayonnaise documentary?
Yeah, I mean, I guess 6th graders are just
they don't care about that. So flash forward to the moment they were able, like, when were you actually able to tell people, okay, yes, I'm actually a part of this show?
I think it was about July of last year when they actually put out an announcement that me, Alex Burrow, and Nell Fisher, we were all going to be on the show as new characters coming in.
But even then, I would imagine you still have to be careful. I guess you could publicly acknowledge, yes, I'm a part of this show, but I'm guessing you weren't telling people, not only am I a character named Derek, there's an episode named after you. You're not some side character that doesn't play a role in the show. You're fairly massive in this plot. So even then, did you have to be kind of careful?
Yeah, I had to be very careful. We had everything tied, locked up like a vault inside, because all my family, we kind of knew most of what happened in the first 4 episodes, but I tried to keep myself away from the script as much as possible, because being a fan of the show, I'd like to be able to experience as a fan.
Now, I had heard that the cast, at least when we did the interviews in early November, that they had not seen the finale, the final episode, which comes out on New Year's Eve, both on Netflix and in theaters. Have you seen the finale yet?
No, they're actually not going to really show it to anyone.
Really?
I don't think.
How much further? So obviously we've seen the first 4 because they came out on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And then the next 4 are Christmas Day, and then the finale on Christmas Eve. How far into the season have you actually seen?
I've seen most of up to 4, so just pretty much everything.
So
that's
you're
been released.
kind of right there with us.
I'm right with the fans.
How much of your Christmas Day is going to be spent in Hawkins, Indiana?
I think all of it.
Yep. Mom, are we okay with that? Are we okay watching? Can I come over?
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm part of it. You're going to have 2 Jakes to feed. Talk to me about the actual production, because you have a lot of really big scenes with a lot of the legacy characters, and you know, sometimes you hear stories of, you know, well, the legacy actors kind of stick together and the newer actors kind of feeling left out. Did you kind of feel brought in by Finn and Caleb and all those guys that have been around there for a while?
I have to say, all of them were so nice and welcoming. You know, even at the table read, Joe Keery, Gaten Matarazzo, we were all throwing little wadded up pieces of paper at Charlie Heaton and throwing them at each other. It was so kind of them to do that for me, and they just made me feel like I was there since day one.
You know, you talk about the table reads, which for people that don't, it's when the cast gets together, I mean, literally, right, around a table, and you kind of practice your lines.
Exactly.
The reading of the script, because I know oftentimes there's so much security around protecting the scripts, particularly for a season like this. What was the process of getting the scripts like?
I have to say, just getting the scripts, and you know, we used to pull them up on our TV through the Apple AirPlay mode, and we were like all like yelling at each other. We're like, oh my God, look at that on the big screen, just seeing all those lines scrolling down. It was just amazing to be able to know that and see that beforehand. Was there,
you know, you always hear these stories of, you know, Marvel actors who, you know, slip up in an interview, because I would never want to ask you a question that potentially, because again, like you, I'm a fan and I don't want to have something ruined for me.
Exactly.
But is there a little bit of anxiety of like just being very thoughtful with your answers and making sure that you don't slip up and accidentally say something? Like that would make me anxious.
Yeah, I think it's very nerve-wracking to be able to make sure that you don't say anything from the later script.
Sure.
Because it's good to have the first 4 episodes out right now, because then I can actually speak about those and think about those when I'm doing interviews and talking to people. So I'm just glad to have that as a backbone, but it is really anxious and definitely nerve-wracking overall.
But also, I would imagine too, like trying to make sure, you know, thinking about scenes of like, wait, has the public seen that scene? No, they haven't seen that scene, so I can't talk to them. Yeah. There's probably a little bit of that, like trying to remember what we have seen, what was in those first 4 episodes.
Exactly. I think I'm glad that I'm trying to keep myself away from those last couple scripts and trying not to read as much of those, because that will definitely help me get into that mindset of only knowing about the first 4 episodes and not slipping up at all.
Yeah. Now, Jake, how old are you?
I am 13 and I'm in 8th grade.
Fantastic. And so you had the chance to work with Winona Ryder, who is just a legendary actor who's been acting for a very long time. Have you had the chance to, for someone like Winona, who's got movies, classic movies going back into the 80s, do you get a chance to kind of do a little bit of homework on her? Have you had a chance to see any of her older work?
You know, I actually have seen a couple of her older films, like Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Yeah, I started Lucas a while ago.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Now, whenever you get to work with her, do you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, when you talk to these legacy actors, kind of getting to geek out a little bit and say, you know, what was it like shooting that scene? What was it like shooting that scene? Do you allow yourself to geek out around some of these legacy actors, or does everyone kind of have to be professional on set?
You know, I try to be professional as much as I can, but I'm so glad that Winona actually talked to me about filming Lucas out here in the Chicago suburbs, actually.
Oh, wow.
That is high school. I think a couple of my mom's friends were actually extras in the movie.
Really?
So,
oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great to actually hear all those stories about filming scenes and all these famous movies that I'd seen, and great to see overall.
I love that. You know, I think one thing that people don't realize that you guys have to do a lot is, you know, obviously the promotional aspect of the show, but there's photo shoots that go along with this. And for people that don't know what a character poster is, a character poster is basically when every character from the show gets their own individual poster. And Jake, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and say I think you have the best one. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I have.
You've seen this.
Yes,
or I don't know if we could zoom in on this really incredible character poster. I'm sort of curious what those days, look at that, come on, that's what I'm talking about. What are those days like whenever you kind of have to channel Derek a little bit and kind of do the snarl? Like, is that, are those fun days, or just kind of, you know, I'm awkward in photos, but you obviously you're doing very well at them.
Oh, thank you. But it was really fun because actually I had a snaggletooth because I had hit my teeth a bunch of times on the concrete, and a couple times I got kneed in the face, but that really helped me be able to do that sneer, which was really funny. But now that I got Invisaligns, I can't really do the sneer.
You can't do, oh really?
Yeah, and that's really fun. But we even had Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass going when we were taking the
Come on.
Yeah, it was a very fun experience, I have to say, yeah.
All right, so take me to school now that the episodes are coming out, and obviously life is changing. I know you were on Fallon not too long ago.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest changes walking through the hall? Like, obviously, there's no going back to the way. And how many people have come up and gone, you were not in a mayonnaise documentary. I knew you weren't in a mayonnaise documentary.
You know, actually, a couple of my friends have done that to me, but...
Probably people who really wanted to see the mayonnaise documentary, and now they're disappointed.
Exactly, yeah, but I just got people coming up to me in the hallways asking for autographs and selfies, and I just have to say, it's just really fun to be able to interact with people like that, and it's really nice to be able to have those people around me and have just such a strong support system overall, yeah.
But you know, this is something that because this happened so fast, like the season came out and all this attention is being paid because people love you and your character so much. Are you okay with everything? Like, in regards to people approaching you on the street, is there a do and a don't? Are there things where you say, hey, you know, maybe if I'm eating at a restaurant, like what makes you feel most comfortable in those sort of situations?
Honestly, I just have to say that I love being nice to people, and I think that, you know, I believe in the golden rule. If you be nice to people, other people will be nice to you. So I just have to say that I don't think I'd ever turn someone down unless it was something like super weird.
Sure.
But I think I really like to be able to have that interaction up on the street and everywhere else.
That's a cool attitude to have. Have you had the chance to, I know, again, this has just all been within the past few weeks that these episodes have come out. What is the coolest thing you've gotten to do as a result of sort of the success of Stranger Things? I know you got to meet Fallon. I mean, have you gotten to meet anyone that you're like, oh my God, I got to meet that person?
You know, actually, when I was at the Netflix house in Dallas, Michael Irvin of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
And, you know, I've been a lifetime Bears fan.
Sure.
I'm a huge Bears fan, but Michael Irvin.
I mean,
Michael
game
Irvin.
respects game.
Exactly.
You know, it's just still you can respect a player like that. You mentioned something I wanted to talk about because you know we are Fox 32, the home of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Lifelong Bears fan. I mean, in regards to what's more exciting in your life right now, Stranger Things 5 is pretty great, but the Bears having the season that they're having. I mean, life's good for Jake Connolly, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I've enjoyed the Bears season so far even more than I've enjoyed Stranger Things coming out.
That's a bold statement, sir. That's saying something.
For sure. Ben Johnson, I love that man. He's the best.
How are you feeling about the team as a whole? It doesn't feel like this is a flash in the pan kind of thing. How are you feeling about Ben? How are you feeling about Caleb Williams? How are you feeling about DJ? Like, are you confident that this is the beginning of if Stranger Things is ending, are the Chicago Bears beginning again?
You know, I think it's just every ending is the beginning of someone else's beginning. So I feel like Caleb Williams and DJ Moore and even Colston Loveland are all going to be such great factors in helping build this team up from the ground up.
Listen, you're a Chicagoan. You are a Chicago Bears fan, and you are the MVP of the most popular show on the planet right now. If that doesn't get you playoff tickets, then nobody's getting playoff tickets. I mean, I'm assuming you're probably very interested in going to a playoff game if we can clinch, if we can make that happen. Like, God, I mean, I'm sure someone from the Bears is watching. We got to make this. We got a lifelong Bears fan, and you know, being 13. You've experienced a couple of seasons that weren't the best, so this has got to be a really cool feeling for you, sort of seeing them kind of do this. I mean, what a crazy moment in life.
You know, it's just amazing that the Bears are having a winning record for the first time in, I think it was 8 years now. But it's just such a great time in my life, and I'm so glad to see that the Bears are winning again, and it's great to see.
I love it. Really quick, the next 4 episodes, so it's part 1, part 2, and then the finale. The next 3, it's going to be on Christmas Day, and then the finale on New Year's Eve. What are the chances that you and I could do like a spoiler breakdown of everything whenever it's done? Because obviously there's only so much we can talk about right now, but I have a feeling come Christmas night and New Year's Eve night, I'm going to have a lot more questions for you.
Yeah. Sure, you know, it's great to be here, and it's an honor to be able to be at the home of the Bears, Fox 32.
Well, we love you for it, man. If you had to put in one word, what you think our reaction to the last episode of Stranger Things is going to be. What do you think that word is?
You know, ooh, that's a tough one, but I think I would say bittersweet.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that makes me nervous.
You know, I'm not going to say anything else.
Listen, there are Netflix people with blow darts ready to go, poison just to silence us. So we don't want to get you in any trouble. Jake Connolly, man, we appreciate you. Chicago loves you. Congratulations on everything. And this is our first interview, but I hope it is the first of many, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Chicago Now rolls on. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Chicago Now, just about 11:23. I'm here with my man Chris K. Knows all things Bears, all things sports. But let's geek out for a second. We just had Jake Connolly on, who said on camera, on the record, that he's more excited about the Chicago Bears season than he is the final season of Stranger Things, which I feel like is a bold statement.
That's massive.
That's huge. I mean, to me, that's a Bears fan.
No, that's...
You're the star of the biggest show in the world, and you care more about how the Bears season is going to end than your own TV season.
You know what I call that? The Ben Johnson effect.
That is the Ben Johnson. He name-checked Coach Ben Johnson. Listen, I mean, if you watch Fox 32 a lot, you know what's going on with the Bears right now. I've been in Chicago a while now. I've never felt this level of excitement. I've never felt this level of hope for, dare I say, well, the 2016 Cubs, that was pretty awesome. But, I mean, in regards to the Bears, there's just something in the air that is undeniable. And a lot of eyes are going to be watching tomorrow night's game. Not just to see, but like the impact that it has. Because we're not used to December games that matter this much.
The last time we had a December game that mattered this much, I think you'd have to go back to 2018 maybe?
Sure.
When the Bears won the NFC North by beating the Green Bay Packers.
Sure.
And before that, they played the Green Bay Packers in December and lost the NFC North battle. It was one of those heartbreakers that you remember for the rest of your life. Yeah. But this is one of those games. This is one of those moments where you're going to look and be like, hey, come 5-10 years from now, be like, hey, remember when they played that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those.
So let's talk about that. So tomorrow night, 7:20 at Soldier Field. If you're not going to brave the cold, it's right here on Fox 32. Talk about the implications. We're now at that time of the year where this team winning and this team losing means one thing, but this team winning and this team winning means another thing. So talk about the different paths we can take coming out of tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, it's interesting because you have to start with the baseline, which is the Bears can make the playoffs this weekend.
And that would require what to happen?
That would require a win or a tie.
Which is very possible. I mean, we've had ties this season.
Yeah, the Packers tied.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't require any other team to do anything. If we win, we're in.
Well, so here's the catch-22.
Okay.
So if the Bears win if they win on Saturday, then they have to wait 24 hours for the afternoon slate of the NFL. So the Lions play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Lions and the Bears win, the Bears are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers is Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly right.
Which, this is like a very full circle weird moment.
It feels almost like scripted, or not scripted, I don't say script, but like in a movie sense. Like this is how you would write it in a movie to make it very dramatic like this.
Oh, yeah. Like I couldn't think of anything different. Aaron Rodgers getting you a playoff spot?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like you could, after all those years of Aaron Rodgers taking playoff spots away from you.
It would be kind of poetic.
Oh, yeah.
For a way.
Oh,
Every year with the Bears, we always kind of start every season with, it's the joke in Chicago. Like, this is our year. This is it. This is, and we were right this year. Like, we just so happen to be right. Take me back 16, 17 weeks at the beginning of this season. Would you have thought that this was what was going to happen?
I mean, so there were a couple times in the offseason, especially if you go back an entire year to January 22nd when Ben Johnson was hired. He had his introductory press conference, and he said all the right things. He said this is what we're going to do, and he mentioned beating the Packers, which you can make jokes, be like, well, like you're just saying that, but it's like, no, he gets it. You have to beat Green Bay if you want to win in this town. But going forward from there, they've made the right acquisitions in the offseason. You start to think, okay, maybe I see where they're going. I see what the vision is. But then they take it another step with all the offseason programs, the way they were doing things. I think August 5th was one of the days where we all kind of turned around and said, hey, this might be a little something different. Because that was a training camp practice where they were so insanely physical, like so intensely physical. Like the teammates were getting after each other. We were sitting there like, we've never seen this before. Last year with the Matty Rufus era, they had no camp practice that looked anything remotely like that. And we're thinking, wow, this is different. And we've seen it in the weeks since then. I think the one thing that we've come to realize about Ben Johnson's Bears is they do what they say. And they're going to say what they do. They will tell you what they're going to do, and then they're going to do it. It's so intentional with every step that they made. And if you took me back a year and said, well, would the Bears be in the playoffs, especially in December 2024? We're like, no, I don't think the Bears would be anywhere close to the playoffs because there's so much that you have to learn about how to win, especially with Caleb Williams learning how to win in the NFL. But that kid's learned on the fly. The Bears have learned to win on the fly, and they just won games, which is incredible.
You mentioned Caleb Williams. I want to the growth that he has made as a player is absolutely incredible. How much of that is, even last season, people were saying you got to give him time. You got to give him time. They would quote great quarterbacks that didn't have great first seasons and sort of grew into themselves. So how much credit do you give just time and experience and getting the reps and being able to play in a couple of games and getting a feel for the game, and how much credit does Ben Johnson get for capitalizing on Caleb's strengths?
I think it's twofold, which is you can coach a player, you can put them in all the situations to be successful.
Yeah.
Right? You can put them in the right places, the right time, but the player's got to execute. The player's got to do what he needs to do to make the plays.
Right.
Caleb is such a playmaker.
Because he's out there, but Ben can be doing this and doing that, but Caleb's the one that's out there on the field.
I mean, there are so many things that you see week in and week out. Like last week against the Browns, the Chicago Bears defense forces a turnover. DeMarco Jackson, an incredible reclamation story, by the way, in its own right. I mean, a guy that was a special teams player for 4 to 5 years comes to the Bears and is winning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. That's incredible. That's a testament to the coaching staff, putting him in the right position. But with Caleb, DeMarco Jackson makes his interception. The very next play, he's throwing this pass to DJ Moore in the end zone. And I mean, I remember watching him be like, oh, he just threw it out of the back of the end zone. Everybody starts freaking out. I'm like,
is that the shot that our amazing photographers here at Fox 32 got? If you haven't seen it, go over to Fox 32 on Instagram and on Twitter. Was it for Jeff Weiris?
Jeff Weiris.
We have an amazing cameraman and photographer named Jeff Weiris who got I think the Bears shot of the season. It's that I mean, you've seen it. You tell people. What it is.
Yeah. Like Jeff did a fantastic job. Jeff, fantastic person. I saw him after the game, and he was out there in 2-degree weather, and I was like,
these guys, himself, and then Juice, Mike Majewski, our 2 cameramen. Shout out to them. You know, people always tell them, oh, it must be so great shooting the Bears. And it is shooting the Bears games. But imagine you're out there at Lambeau and it's, -8 degrees, or even the game at Soldier Field last week. It has its downsides.
It has its downsides. But I saw him after the game. I looked him right in the face. I was like, hey, Jeff, are you good? Are you frozen? He's like, yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, he's good.
He was like, what's a pro right
and
there?
he got the shot of the game. Which is amazing.
And what I didn't know about that play that I found out from watching Jeff's shot was that the pass was tipped. That the pass was tipped by a Browns defender, and DJ Moore still.
Come on.
But it's one of those things where you start to see that play, and you're like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
There are maybe 5 quarterbacks in the NFL that can make that play. Caleb Williams is one of them. He's on the Bears.
All right, we're gonna see it. The Bears keep marching on. Tomorrow night, 7:20. If you're not going out to the game at Soldier Field, right here at Fox 32. You can tell how dramatic it is by that graphic.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That's a dramatic graphic.
See, the best part about this specific graphic is something that's very similar that's up at Hallis Hall right now. They have this, but it's also accompanied by a clock.
Oh.
Ticking clock, 2 days, 20 hours.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those you start to feel the juice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, we're going to keep you around just for a couple of minutes because we got a couple of trenders that we want to talk about.
Oh, I love that.
This is interesting. Do you know the whole concept of the Karen, what the Karen is, what a Karen?
I'm familiar, yeah.
So there's a concept that what is the name of the millennial Karen? And apparently it's been voted as Jessica. Jessica is apparently the millennial Karen. And we were talking about this behind the scenes. I don't really have a problem with people named Jessica.
I don't either. I don't know if you've ever met a bad Jessica.
I can't think of one. I'm like racking my brain. I was going back to grade school trying to think if I had a problem with anyone named Jessica, and I really don't think I have. But what I do think is interesting is that some people are arguing that the name should have been Ashley.
Oh.
And I think maybe Ashley's what? Ashley, do you agree with that? Yes. See, Ashley is Ashley's. Wow. Some people behind the scenes have serious. If you're an Ashley at home, apparently you have issues with people behind the scenes.
But I agree. But I agree with you. Where before I got out, I just did a quick search on my phone.
Yeah.
I went through the contacts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do I know any Jessicas?
Yeah.
I do know a couple Jessicas. And especially there's one when I used to live in Mississippi. I just moved there as my first job. My next door neighbor's name was Jessica.
Yeah.
And I remember I was deer in the headlights, first job in the middle of nowhere. I'm in a new place, literally a new town. And she put a little note on my door that said, hey, welcome, neighbor.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm having a party if you want to come over. I was too nervous to go to the party, but I was, sitting in my, in my room eating mac and cheese. It's fine.
Love it. You know who didn't do that? Ashley. See? We see you, Ashley. Really quick, what kind of flyer are you? If your flight is at 12 noon at O'Hare, when are you getting to the airport?
10 o'clock.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's not. See, I'm someone who errs. I'm the kind of guy that gets to the airport and I want to see the gate. I need to make a beeline and make sure that B4 exists. It's there, and then I can go about my life and do my thing.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. It depends if it's a work-related flight. If there's extra stakes involved,
sure,
I'll get there at 9. I want, you're right, I want to see gate B4, and I want to be locked in.
Because I think there's nothing worse than travel anxiety. And the reason that we bring this up is one of the trenders that we're talking about is that Talker research came up with 5 different travel personas. There's the mastermind, that people who like to plan travel, want to book everything. There's the thrill seeker, those who want to explore environments, hop on city tours, go to museums and amusement parks. There's the connoisseurs. They take charge of all things food. They want to try something new, local, sometimes expensive. There are some people called floaters. They're just along for the ride. And then finally, there are the vacay scouts. And they're all just ready for whatever the day brings. They have everything you need to relax by the pool or on the beach, go to concerts. Looking at those, is there one that kind of stands out to you?
So it really depends.
Yeah.
Because it depends, because if I am the one that is putting together the trip, if I am the one planning the trip, I am 100% the connoisseur.
Sure.
I want to know what's the best place to go. best place to eat, what's the best things to see. Yeah, and there's a handful of trips where it's like, oh, okay, well, even if this is a tourist trap, like I want to go see it. But if someone else is planning it, like my dad plans trips every year to Florida and all that kind of stuff, I look at him, I'm like, you know, Bruce, it's all you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for the ride.
I think it's got to be, you know, depending on who you're traveling with, it's got to be a group effort. You know, like, you know, when my girlfriend and I travel, like, she's great about picking the restaurants, and you know, and maybe I picked the show we're going to go see, or the touristy thing, and then she's got this reservation. You know, I think it takes a little bit of. I think you kind of need to be a little bit of everything, and the person you're traveling with needs to be a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you got to have a little taste of everything, I guess. And it's not bad to be a floater, to be honest with you, because having done that with my family vacations, that kind of stuff, especially now as a grown adult, I just sit back and I'm like, you know what, guys, do what you got to do. I will be there for the ride, but if they ask, like, hey, what is it? What looks good to you? Well, of course, I'll give my 2 cents.
You know who's tough to travel with? Ashley.
No, Ashley. Not Jessica, though.
Oh, not Jessica's just fine. Chris K, we love you, brother. Appreciate you. Where are you watching the game at tomorrow?
I'll be at Soldier Field.
Of course you will. Why wouldn't you be? If you're not going to be out at Soldier Field, the game tomorrow night, 7:20, right here on Fox 32. It matters. Watch it. We'll be right back. Welcome back, 11:38. Just about to wrap up Chicago Now, but not before our next really amazing guest, an Aurora police officer celebrating a major accomplishment. He recently earned his Master of Public Administration degree from Aurora University. Officer William Whitfield is here to tell us all about it. Officer, first of all, I don't like being shown up in the fashion and the style category, sir. You look fantastic.
Thank you, brother.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
So where did this initial sort of urge to do this? I mean, you as an officer, you're staying busy all the time. You always have something going on in your life. To add one more, not just one more thing, a master's degree. Where did that urge come from?
I would say that came from my upbringing. You know, throughout life, I learned that education was the key. But as I got into policing, I understand that representation matters. So it gave me the desire. I started seeing my mentors, speaking with them, and from there, I started out. I didn't complete it because my son came about. And then after seeing him and just wanting to be that role model for him, that drive came back.
Because you know, as your son gets older, anytime he says, I can't do this, I can't do that, you have the ultimate comeback now. You have the ultimate like, oh, really? let me show you these pictures of what Dad did back in the day. Yeah, you know, you're kind of banking that for a later time.
Right? Yeah, just keep it in the back pocket.
So what was that journey like, balancing life, balancing being an officer, balancing earning a master's degree, which even if you have nothing else going on in your life, is a difficult thing to do. You're spinning 15 different plates at one time. What was that experience like for you?
It was challenging, long nights. Definitely depended on my support system, but understanding that you have to be an example not only for your family, but you have people looking up to you that are dependent on you for their encouragement. So having that motivation and drive behind me kind of helped lead the way, and those long nights have recently paid off.
So talk to me about that when you're having those moments, or did you have those moments where you're kind of going, I don't know if I can keep doing this. You know, you got this big test the next day, or you know, you had a long day at work, whatever the case may be. Did you have those moments where you doubted yourself? And if so, what was it that kept you going?
Yeah, those nights came. Long nights, very challenging classes. But when those moments happen, I have a picture of me and my son, and I just think about what I tell him, you know, like, keep going, it's all right. He fall down, get back up, let's go. And I just took that with me, and it paid off, and I feel good about it.
You should feel good about it. Talk to me about a Master's of Public Administration. For people that don't know, what does that mean exactly? And what are some of the skills that you're able to pull out of that Master's that you're able to maybe put in other aspects of your life?
So, funny story, I developed the police department exploring program. During that time, I had no idea what policies were, how to develop those policies, what it looks like, a budget, and the transparency of it. So once I got into this master class, I started to understand that those skills could be essential when it comes to promoting in the police department or wherever I decide to go. Understanding, so in the Masters of Public Administration, you start to understand things that the average person don't. Developing policies, accountability, transparency, and how to move point A to point Z, but then come back to point B, and it all comes together. So it was interesting, a new learning curve for me, because my bachelor's is in law enforcement.
Sure. So, you know, again, you can't ask everybody, every officer, to go out and get a master's. It's a big ask for anybody. But would you tell other officers there is value in this, and it could change your perspective of this profession or make you better at your profession by doing this? Would you recommend other officers do something like this?
I would absolutely recommend it, especially if you have plans to promote within your department. Having that understanding of what a balanced budget looks like is key, right? Everyone is under budget restraints at some point. So when you learn how to navigate the cost of things, you can be more efficient, and quite frankly, your boss will like you more.
Which is always a good thing. Talk to me. I want you to kind of compare life before and after having this master's. When you look back on who you were as, you know, just an officer or a person before having this master's, are there moments where you can look at and go, God, it would have been great if I'd had the master's then. It would have been great if I'd had the master's there.
Absolutely. Growing up on the west side of Chicago, I never thought that I would make it that far to get a master's. But as I reflect on the challenges that I had growing up, but more so the support that I get from the community, it makes me filled with joy because I got so many people cheering to be great that it's like you can only be great because people are cheering for you, so you don't want to let them down.
We've shown a couple of clips, a couple of photos of you getting to that moment when you walk across the stage, which, you know, for any graduate, like that's the moment, right? Like that's what you're working toward. What was that moment like? What do you remember about that moment?
I remember walking up to the stage, and I was the last person to cross the stage. And
Whitfield being, you know, W, and it being the last.
Well, no, we sat down and we got these cards with our name on it to give to the reader. And there was two young ladies that were in my row. We just happened to sit together.
Sure.
And we were debating on who was going to go last. And I was like, you know what, y'all go first because I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to trip.
Sure.
And I remember handing my card to the guy, and he like, hey, make sure you don't trip. The camera's on.
Because then that gets in your head, and you go, well, I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to.
Yeah, so that was good, but...
Now, I'm looking at the video. It doesn't look like you tripped.
No.
It looks like you did. You made it from one side to the other.
Yeah, it was great.
You know what? It still would have been a great story if you had. But,
yeah.
I mean, it would have been great video, and we would have kept running that video over and over again. You know, for someone who's out there listening to this, and they're maybe not thinking about following the exact same path that you've done, but they're interested in this idea of this is where I'm at in life, and I want to do a thing that makes my life better, that changes me, changes my purpose, maybe moves me in a different direction. What advice would you have?
Always follow what makes you happy. You'll have a lot of people that have a plan for you, but do what makes you happy. And there's going to be challenges. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be challenges. The weather may not always be good, but there's sunny days coming. So stay the course and stay focused, and you'll succeed at whatever you want.
I love this. Officer William Whitfield, sir, congratulations to you. I cannot wait to find out what happens next, and please come back on the show, man. Would love to talk with you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate you, sir. Take
yes,
care.
sir.
Guys, we'll be right back.
Tis the season to save big at K&J.
Welcome back, 11:48 on Chicago Now. We're wrapping up the show with something really cool. I'm actually very excited about this. The Practical Theater Company is a sketch comedy group formed back in 1979, but the tradition has continued on ever since. They are holding their annual sketch show from December 26th through January 3rd at Studio 5 in Evanston, which is a great spot. We're going to get a little preview of the show with Paul Barras, Tori Zielinski, and Dana Olson with Steve on piano. Guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you.
It's fun to be here.
First of all, tell us a little bit about the history of the group for people that maybe aren't familiar with you guys.
Well, we got started on the campus of Northwestern University back in the Ice Age. And it wasn't long before we moved to a small storefront theater on Howard Street in about 1981. And then we wound up in 1982 having a theater behind Second City, working with Bernie Solins back in the day. That cast, including me, went off to Saturday Night Live, then came back to Chicago and did shows up until about the late 80s. And then we started coming back and doing these shows in Evanston about 10 years ago.
I love that.
And now we're back in Chicago, so we do it more often.
Now, I know I'm biased, you know, but I truly do believe that the theater in Chicago, the sketch comedy in Chicago, it's just better than anywhere else in the country. I honestly, I've seen it around the country. I've done the Pepsi challenge. I think it's better here. I'm sort of curious, why do you guys think that there's just something about the theater productions, what you guys are doing here in Chicago, that just kind of puts you guys at a level above everywhere else in the country?
I want to say something. I think it's because the audiences are so darn smart.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
They get the jokes, they understand the medium, and they come to have a good time, not to get discovered or anything like that. And so we immediately can feel the difference. It's electric.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, this forum got its start back in Chicago, back at U of C and the Compass Players and early Second City, and then that spawned, other companies. So in a way, it's in Chicago's, DNA, sketch comedy, even more than stand-up comedy.
It really makes sense. You guys brought up the audience. In your eyes, what makes a great audience? What do you need? Oftentimes we go to the show and we know what we want from you guys. What do you guys want from us?
Just for them to engage and, laugh at everything. It's very important to get that first laugh.
Make noise. Noise is key.
Silence is a killer.
In a cabaret setting like this, where you can actually, have a drink and you can relax, what we like is our audience just to feel at home. And the Studio 5 audience is, a very hip, intelligent audience, and, we feel at home with them. We have a bar. Yeah. There you go.
Bar goes a long way in any situation in life. Tell people really quick about this annual show that's been going on.
Well, we've been doing it for about 10 years now. I think this is our 10th here at Studio 5. And, we all have other lives, so this is about as hard as we want to work. Do about 6 performances a year. We usually start writing at the beginning of the summer, and we like to comment on what's going on in the world and do some silly stuff. And we just all sort of share the same sense of humor, and we make each other laugh and have a blast. I love that. How much of your talent at being able to do this carries over into other aspects of your life? If you were a part of my life, would my life be better just because I would constantly be laughing? Or do you have those moments where you just go, I got to turn it off. I got nothing today.
Right. Well, we may annoy you after a point.
Trust me, that's usually my expertise, man.
Well, I mean, in our particular case, where it carries into our lives is we've all been friends since college days. So, this for us is always, old home week, only, it's not a reunion. We're just always together.
And we love each other, but that's not to say there isn't the traditional family spats over issues, over politics.
You can't see the blood on the floor right now.
Hold on, let me see if I can look. No, the camera's not tilted. You guys got the camera at just the right angle. Before we let you guys go, we did want to get a little bit of a preview of what people could expect, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, you're in for a treat, because this is an original song by Wisconsin native Steve Rashid.
And they say that you should always write what you know. In this case, it's write what you know. When the wintry winds start to blow and it snows real hard and you need a toll and it's 10 below and you froze your toe, it's the holidays in Wisconsin. From Ashwaubenon to Baraboo, Mukwonago, and Cribbets too, up by 3 Lakes. Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's the holidays in Wisconsin. The kids outside having slush ball fights. Oh, for cute, they're having fun. But we're inside cooking venison from the meat raffle we won. If the roads are slow and the weather's bleak, pull off at Kohler to take a leak. But don't hit a deer on your way here. Holiday in Wisconsin.
There you go.
Listen, I think that song plays anywhere in the country and you're going to get a laugh. Good. But there's something about, like, when people hear Holiday in Wisconsin, is there just an understanding from the audience that just makes that song play better than it would anywhere else?
I think so. I mean, so many people. I'm from Wisconsin. I've lived in Illinois for the better part of my life, but so many people in Illinois vacation in Wisconsin. There's such a, despite the team rivalries, there's such a sort of an affection between the two states often.
And also, we have friends and fans who come down from Milwaukee area to come.
Let me just show you the picture of this muskie I caught up there last spring. I'll have to scroll through.
For someone who's watching, and I think so many people do have this dream or this aspiration of doing some kind of a sketch comedy, doing what it is that you guys are doing. It takes a lot of courage, which I feel like goes underappreciated in terms of what you guys are doing on a nightly basis during this show. What advice do you have for someone who loves the idea of this, but maybe is a little apprehensive to step out on that stage?
Well, the thing is just do it. Don't wait for somebody else to cast you or to say, hey, you've got it, kid. We got where we were because we love to do this, and so we just started doing it together. And then the audience came as a result of that. We didn't wait to get cast. We didn't submit scripts to somebody to have them approve them. So you really have to be a self-starter and want to do it and find a group of people that you vibe with and that you have fun with.
It's a lot of trust.
That's an interesting word. It's a lot of trust. And how much, listen, you guys have been doing this for a long time. You know what you're doing. I would imagine the four of you guys haven't bombed in a sketch in a very long time. But when you're starting, I choose to believe that you hit it out of the park every time. But if you're starting out in the world of sketch comedy, how willing do you have to be? Do you have to accept the fact that, like, not every sketch is going to hit? You're not going to hit a grand slam every time you go up to the plate.
That is so right. And sometimes the interesting thing is when you start to bomb, the improvisation that comes from the bomb is funnier than the sketch itself. So being flexible and trusting one another, I think you went up on your lines last year.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the most fun I ever had in a sketch was I went completely up on my lines. And so I just announced to the audience that I had no idea where I was. And I was holding a script in my hand, but it was a script for another sketch. And I just let them know. And it was the most fun.
I love that. All right, guys. Paul, Tori, Dana, Steve, the Practical Theater Company. The show is from December 26th to January 3rd at Studio 5 in Evanston. Guys, thank you for joining me. Excited to see the show. Congratulations.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. All right, guys. We are just wrapping up this hour of Chicago Now. I'm Jake Hamilton. I've been your one and only host for the last 60 minutes. Thanks for letting me be it. For now, we got Fox 32 News at noon.
Get great gifts for the gearhead in your family.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at noon.
And right now at noon, security surge on the CTA while the Federal Transit Administration says it is not enough. 1 in 3 Americans are set to travel for the holiday. How airports across the country are getting ready for an influx of passengers. And let's take a live look outside right now. Nice and bright and sunny out over Millennium Park on our Friday. What a nice way to celebrate Friday here at the end of the work week. Appreciate you joining us this noon. I'm Anthony Ponce in for Sylvia, and we're following breaking news involving the CTA's Blue Line right now. We're hearing reports that a man set himself on fire right near the Damon Avenue stop. This is not the Damon down near Forest Park, but the Wicker Park neighborhood. The man was taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. We will bring you more information as we get more info into the newsroom this afternoon. This latest incident happened on the same day that the CTA rolled out a new security plan to try to comply with a federal order. Just hours into that plan, though, the Federal Transit Administration said it didn't go far enough to protect riders. Roseanne Tejas has more now from the Belmont stop.
The Federal Transportation Administration is once again threatening to withhold federal funding if the CTA doesn't submit a new, more aggressive safety plan within the next 90 days. $50 million is on the line. FTA Administrator Mark Molinaro writing, "I'll say it plainly, CTA, city and state leaders are failing transit riders and operators." This comes just as the CTA launched a new safety plan this morning. Pressure to enhance security was growing, especially after the violent attack on the Blue Line when a woman was set on fire. The CTA and CPD say the number of sworn officers on buses and trains today is increasing from an average 77 per day to 120, and K-9 guards will go up from 172 to 188. But Molinaro says the plan doesn't include targets that effectively reduce assaults and other crimes. One CTA employee we talked to said there are a lot of measures in place to make riders feel safe, although not all do.
We have the call buttons on the trains, so if they have any problems or issues on the trains, they can always call the operators and the trains are stopped and K-9 backs us up, and we have a direct connection to CPD, which usually when we give them a call, they come right away.
Your concerns about the trains?
It's not safe at all. I don't think it'll never be safe no matter what they do in this city.
Other CTA riders say while safety is important, federal government interference is not the